And it's time for business news now with Emma Hatton, who's in our Wellington studio. Well, Emma, Groundhog Day. The NZX went down again for the third day in a row. What is going on here?
Yeah. Interesting out there, Lisa. The servers came under another attack at about 11 o'clock this morning. So that's the website and the market announcement platform. So that's where companies put all their updates out and what they're up to. That went down shortly after the NZX decided to cease trading. And they do that because if investors and traders can't see what companies are up to, they can't trade on that. It's just not fair. There needs to be a level of disclosure there. So they ceased trading. The website did appear to come back online at about 2:30, and there were a few announcements that came through after that, but it seemed to actually go out again. I just checked before I came on air and it wasn't working. So the NZX made the call not to reopen trading at all. They made that announcement at about 2:45. Saying that they were working with cybersecurity experts and doing everything they could to address the situation. And they hope to be able to open it for trading at 8:30 tomorrow when it would normally open. And I mean, it's been canvassed quite well during the news today, but what's happening is it's something called a distributed denial of service attack. And it's basically they with the sheer volume of requests that they send a server, it just overwhelms it and it's not able to operate. So it's coming from offshore. We know that from Spark. It's coming from overseas, and they're probably using a bunch of thousands of computers that are rerouting and sending this request through to the NZX at the same time, and it just can't handle it. So there's some consensus that because this is happening frequently, this is a sophisticated and organised attack. Where it's coming from and who's doing it, there's a lot of speculation out there. Spark can't pinpoint where it's coming from country-wise or anything like that, and in any case it's probably routed to different points around the world. I mean, it's pretty staggering for a national stock exchange to be out for 3 days in a row. And basically, once it's started, the only thing they can do is shut down the source of the traffic. So they're trying to block IP addresses from where all of these requests are coming from. But there will be so many of these addresses. And if, they get blocked, they've probably got more that are coming online. So it can potentially be very difficult to stop. What they need to do once they have stopped it, we've been told from cyber experts, is they need to make their own server capacity bigger. So it's basically it's a game of size. The biggest volume wins here. One thing that has been talked about today, which we've had some clarification on, is this tool that the GCSB runs that's called Cortex. And there's been some speculation about whether this could have protected the servers. That's, supposedly a next level cyber protection tool for important New Zealand servers. We asked NZX if they had Cortex protection. They said we can't say who has it because that's sensitive information. However, what they did say is that Cortex servers detect and disrupt malware from advanced and persistent threats. And this type of attack isn't malware trying to be put on their server. It's just a run of sheer volume. So it would seem that the Cortex protections probably wouldn't have worked in any case on this type of thing. What we do know, though, is that no internal systems have been compromised and trading information has not been breached. But that's all we know for now as far as the actual technicality of it all. So I've talked to a few traders today as well. There's an immense amount of frustration out there for them and for investors. People have a lot of money tied up in here and it's just locked in these exchanges. They can't get it out. It's supposedly liquid assets and they want to move it around, and they're used to moving around frequently during the day and they cannot. There's new information coming through from overseas all the time, and they just, and that may be impacting what they would normally be doing and the sorts of trades they'd be making, but they just can't budget. So it is starting to become more serious here. Millions of dollars worth of trades that can't go on.
Emma, NZX seems to have been relatively quiet in all of this, and there has been speculation about motivation, that it's a high value target, and kudos to whoever is behind it. But do we know yet if anyone's asked for anything? Because there's often a ransom attached to this kind of behaviour. Are they saying anything about that?
We haven't had any information on whether there have been demands made or whether that is something that is likely to come through if this is expected to continue. Like you say, there is a lot of speculation about who is responsible for this. There was some commentary on earlier in the day that it could be sort of ethics-based groups opposed to capitalism and things like that. There's no indication at this stage that any ransom has been requested, and in any case, that's probably something that is being held quite tight for now. Like you say, nobody from the NZX has fronted for an interview on what is happening behind the scenes. We've had a sort of very quick concise updates on what is happening with trading open, trading closed, things like that. So we do hope, we have been asking for an interview with the head of the NZX to try and get some more information about what is going on, when we can expect things to improve, and if they don't know when, make that available as well. What we don't know is just as important as what they can tell us. So, yeah, it's really interesting, and it's something that we will be staying on top of.
So, Emma, does that mean no market figures today?
Oh, I've always got market figures for you. So we only had about an hour of trading this morning, but the NZX Top 50 Index managed to gain 22 points, and I guess it closed at 12,053 points. New Zealand dollar trading at 66.2 US cents, 91.5 Australian and 50.1 British pence.
Thank you, Emma. That's Emma Hatton joining us with business news there and the goings on at the NZX.